Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the World Illustration Awards winner interview series, presented by the AOI in partnership with Directory of Illustration, celebrating great illustration across the globe. This is the sixth interview as part of our series where we've been interviewing last year's winners to find out more about them, their practice, and their amazing award-winning projects. And today I'm thrilled to share that I'm joined by Jennifer N.R. Smith, our Professional Science and Technology category winner for their project Bang.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm well, thank you. Yeah, excited to chat to you today.
Yeah, definitely. And congrats on being a category winner. It's, as I said, I loved your project. It was so amazing and so full of life and energy. And yeah, just really, really fantastic to see. It would be great to just get an insight into your illustration practice and a little bit about yourself. I know that you have a background in both fine art and medical illustration. Is that right?
Yeah. So I studied fine art at university for my bachelor's degree, and then so that was drawing, fine art drawing, and we looked at how drawing is used across disciplines. So we had a module with like architects, and one of the modules was a 6-week course with a medical illustrator, and I really enjoyed that, and so I decided to pursue it further for my postgraduate. So I did a postgraduate diploma with the MAET, and that was part-time study while working. So I was a bookseller with Waterstones while doing that, and so I was surrounded by books all the time. And yeah, that was for about 4 years that I did that because when you're working and studying, it's a lot. Um, and when I came out the other side of it, I sort of wasn't so keen on the more traditional medical art. And I was very inspired by the children's nonfiction section in particular, and general nonfiction. But these beautifully illustrated massive books like Animalium, illustrated by Katie Scott, and it was just a market that I could totally see myself being in love with, like as an illustrator too. So yeah, that's kind of how I arrived where I'm at now.
That's amazing. And that's so interesting you were saying about how all these different experiences have kind of led to you creating the art you have and it feeling. The thing I love about this category in particular is how it really brings, I think, science and technology alive to a new audience and really invites them in, which is great with what you were saying about how sometimes traditional medical illustration can feel quite I guess quite different, and it feels like you've really got like a new perspective on it that feels really fresh and exciting.
Yeah, and the science and tech category, it's odd in that it's both extremely niche and incredibly diverse. So you can have projects from really any other category, but if it's related to science and tech, they're all brought together in this one really special category. So I always love seeing what's shortlisted every year in science and tech in particular, because it's just you never know what you'll see.
Yeah, exactly. And I always feel like I learn a lot when the long list and the short list comes out and you're just looking at all these projects. I feel like I'm getting all these little nuggets of information from loads of different fields. So yeah, it's a really exciting category.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'd love to hear as well from you why you decided to enter WIA in particular.
Yeah, so this was actually my 5th year entering, and the past 3 years I'd been, well, including this year, shortlisted. And then this year was the win, which is so exciting. And what I find about World Illustration Awards in particular is not only does it have you know, fantastic judges. It's an opportunity to get your work seen by amazing people in the industry. It also has a really nice community feel. Like it feels like a celebration of the illustration industry in a way that sometimes other awards maybe slightly fail to do. Um, it feels like a place to go to discover a new exciting illustrator and connect with them. And yeah, that's what I really love about this one in particular.
That's really lovely to hear you say. And I feel like the community aspect is something that we really try and champion. And for it to feel like, yeah, a community, I think being illustrators, it's a lot of the time we're working on our own and it can actually be quite isolating, which I think, what's really nice is when you can put loads of illustrators in the same room and actually champion them, celebrate them, and connect them as well. Like I know, like you said, a lot of people, when we do our kind of webinars and things, they've connected through those and had a chance to meet people from all over the globe that they might have never met before, which is really exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I've made so many connections and friends through the World Illustration Awards. And yeah, you learn from each other, and it creates a stronger industry in general as well. When we talk together, then we all win together.
Definitely, exactly. And I feel like it's more than just a buzzword for like championing the illustration industry. It is genuinely what we try and do. So that's really great to hear that you really felt that when you were part of the awards. But I'd love to hear as well about the project, so about the award-winning project. I know you were saying it was a commission project by, is it Thames and Hudson? Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And was it part of a series? Is that right?
Yeah, so the first one in the series was Glow, which was shortlisted last year. Um, and so this is the second in the series. It's my own series. I'm the author as well. So it's a self-pitched, series. I come with the ideas, and Thames and Hudson facilitate it, and I work with, the team there who are all fantastic. Um, and yeah, so it really is my baby. So um, yeah, it's amazing to have a project like that that feels so yeah, so personal, and you spend so much time perfecting. To have that recognized in the awards is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. So you were saying that that was a project that you pitched directly to the publisher for.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so it's all about Earth's phenomena, and the reason that I pitched this kind of idea in particular is that when I was in school, I loved geography, but I always felt like I wanted to focus more on the earth sciences. It just felt like this completely awe-inspiring aspect of science that gets such a tiny amount of curriculum time. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to dive into all of the amazing phenomena that happen on Earth and gather them all in one book. And yeah, that was the concept, is kind of fun geography.
Yeah, that's really exciting. That's amazing just to hear like a bit of the background and how you've, yeah, fused it with coming from a space of wanting to share that interest that you have for it. It's really exciting. And I'd love to hear as well about what impact winning the award has had. Has it led to any commissions, just a boost in confidence? Has it increased social followings? Anything that you feel like the awards has really helped you in your career in any way?
Yeah, it's always hard to tell, you know.
It's
Uh,
early days as well.
Yeah, but yeah, I would say that yeah, there's definitely been an uptick in people contacting me, both socially and for client work. Um, and yeah, it's in terms of what it's given me within my practice, like for myself, it's just so nice to have outside validation that I'm on the right track with it and that people are resonating with what I'm making. Because it really is, I think when you make a piece of art, regardless of what kind of, category that be in fine art, illustration, you're looking for connection with others and to, yeah, have people engage with it in a way that sort of means something to them too. So yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this really, but
No,
it's
I know exactly what you mean. It's
yeah,
nice, I think, just as humans to feel like you've got some external validation and to feel like you're feeling, okay, I am making work that resonates with people. And I think that that's, so lovely.
yeah, that's exactly it.
Exactly what you said. No, definitely. But yeah, it's so great to hear. And it's really lovely to hear illustrators say that because, yeah, I know that, like I said before, it's, not only is it about the award, but it's about that community feel and feeling like we can really lift up and champion illustrators, which is really, really great. And can I ask as well if you've got any favorite AOI resources? So any membership resources that you feel like you've really benefited from or feel like they've really like helped demystify or kind of help with any tricky situations.
Yeah, so I self-represent. I don't have an agent. Um, and I've found that the AOI contract service, it's just completely worth the membership price alone to me.
That's a godsend. Yeah.
It's so I send Derek all my contracts.
Out, Derek.
And it's always so helpful and just so great to know that you've got somebody else sort of, yeah, no matter how much you learn about contracts as an illustrator, just have knowing that there's someone else there to look over it and to catch things that you missed. It's great. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a big fan of the AOI for that reason, and also the directories. Like when I was first starting out, the publishing directory in particular and the editorial directory, um, were the ones that I focused on, and yeah, that I mean, I think it's actually that directory that helped me pitch to Thames and Hudson. So yeah, highly recommend that resource as well.
Oh, that's really, really great to hear. That's so lovely to know. Yeah. And yeah, just springing off the back of that, what advice would you give to someone looking to enter the World Illustration Awards this year?
Yeah, so looking at the projects that I entered in my early days, the two not successful entries and the ones that were shortlisted, I'd say, you know, don't just put in something, a piece that you think is palatable to a wide range of people or a trendy style. Do something that, enter something that really encapsulizes your practice and what you're about as an illustrator. So, the projects that maybe are self-initiated or you've taken some kind of authorial lead on, um, or you feel have had a big impact in the way that you're seen as an illustrator. I think those are the ones, and just looking at what gets shortlisted, I think those are the ones that are the most successful. Um, and I know that's kind of vague and airy-fairy, maybe, but like that's just what I found from my experience is that
No, that's not.
what's
That's really
ready.
great advice. That's really, really great advice.
And I think, it's funny how the years that I wasn't successful and the years that I was in getting shortlisted, I'd done quite a lot of deep diving into my practice and what I wanted it to be about. And it wasn't until after I had, a complete revitalization of my website. I had like an artist manifesto, as cringy as it feels to say that. I if you can find what your practice is really about, the golden thread that's running through your work, and then pick the piece that really captures that idea, I think you're onto a winner there.
That's really, really great advice. And I'm sure that a lot of people really take that and allow themselves to reflect as well on the work that they're making. And just as a, I guess, theme for creating illustrations and work in general, I think it's
Yeah.
really important, as you said, to reflect and think about what the why is and creating that artist manifesto. I think those are all really helpful tips for someone who just feels like they need a bit of guidance.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really great. And I know that you've got a new book coming out. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so it's the third in my Wild Wonders series with Thames and Hudson. It's called Life, the Wild Wonders of Biodiversity. And yeah, it's all about the systems of nature that keep the planet ticking. And it covers from simple biological concepts like food chains to symbiotic behaviors and um, animals that have a bad name and their place in the ecosystem. Um, so yeah, it was really fun to put together, and it comes out in April this year.
Oh, that's so exciting. Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. And if we want to find you, where can we find you on socials? For anyone that's watching as well, Jennifer's done an amazing Instagram takeover on our socials, which she'll be tagged in as well. But if people want to find you on here, what's your handles on everything?
Yeah, so I mostly post on Instagram, my handle is at wonder.theory. And I'm also on Blue Sky to try and get away from Meta, um, which my handle is at Wonder Theory, then, the standard Blue Sky social thing at the end.
Amazing. Well, everyone go and check out Jennifer's amazing work. And thank you so much for joining us. It's been so inspiring just to hear about your project and also about you. And I think that those little sound bites of advice that you've given people will be really, really helpful. And if anyone's listening and they're feeling inspired to enter, there's still a chance to enter WIA 2025. And, using all of those bits of inspiration, really reflect into the work that you feel like reflects you as an illustrator. And as we kind of discussed today, the awards is really about championing great illustration. So we'll link it below, all of the details on how to enter, a bit more insights into the categories, some FAQs, a breakdown of how to put together your application, as well as just some more information to get to know the sponsors and the categories and all those details. All of that will be below. So yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer. It's been such a treat to have you with us today. And yeah, we'll be keeping an eye out for your new book.
Thank you so much for having me. This was really fun.